It's Sway in the morning, only
on Shea 45.
These private owners of jails met with the record executives. These are real satanic people, brother. You can't go to them with a decent rap, an intelligent rap. They'll tell you quick, oh, that won't sell. Who was that brother that went to his man at the record company? Too Short. He wanted to make a clean rap. And the man told him, he was a Jewish fella, said, now, that won't sell, but I tell you what, you make a rap that's as dirty and low down as you could make it. And if you do that, the next time we'll let you do this one that you want to make. Even the radio stations are complicit. You play this rap because King Louie in Chicago got 400,000 or 500,000 followers. And
Lil Durk or
Lil Herb.
Lil Herb. Okay.
Lil Herb. He got 400,000 or 600,000. So I'm on the radio, I'm playing King Louie's beef, and somebody is pushing Lil Herb's beef. So as these beefs are played over the radio, then each of them have followers. Then the fight starts in the streets, in the clubs. Bullets are shot out. People are arrested. They're in prison. Where's your woman? She's without a man. He's in prison. They test him coming in. Do you have any AIDS? We'll see. We'll test you. But while you in, you become somebody's woman. And then you come out and you go back to your girlfriend and give her AIDS. And so black women now are the top purveyors, they say, of the AIDS virus. How did that happen? That's biological warfare. What about these drugs? That's chemical warfare. And we are not smart enough to see that we are living in the very valley of the shadow of death. And it's all a conspiracy from the top of the government. How could we serve a government like this? Why should we? Why should we pay taxes to a government that the educational system ain't worth nothing? The police are killing us and we pay their bill. How could we enlist in the army to go fight a war thousands of miles away when our fight is right here in America for justice against the tyranny of our lives? See, somebody gotta say it.
Well, let me ask you this. You said to Snoop that you guys are being used, in the wrong way. I'm paraphrasing with your gifts. And rap music, hip hop culture is the most, in my opinion, one of the most influential cultures. It's more influential than religion today.
It is religion.
It is religion.
New religion.
New religion. People listen to what's said in lyrics in a rap song before they will scripture. Now, there's a diabolical plan that's been in place, but at some point, how do we reverse it?
We can't.
We can't?
We can.
Okay, so how, if we're perpetuating these messages in our music, this is my struggle. I work on the radio every day, so I have to, the music we're playing, a lot of it is music I can't even stand to hear half the time. But I gotta balance out what I play with music I think needs to be heard. But when you have these record companies telling these guys, if you don't make this music like this, you won't have a record deal, and these guys get in debt for whatever reasons, the money they make, then they can't sustain a lifestyle. It's hard to tell somebody not to continuously rap about that drug trade or what they did in the streets or shooting their brother or selling them drugs. How do we reverse that, and when do we take accountability for our own actions?
You're like a hamster running around this moving thing, but making no progress. The record companies are very satanic. When you come, it's like sharecropping, like your grandmother and grandfather on the plantation. You say, man, that's a hot song. I tell you what, I like it, and I'll front you for an album. So the record company puts up the money. You get in, they give you an advance, and they sign you, and you happy. You know, I just signed with Universal, or man, I signed with this one and that one. Yeah, right. But now they put up the money for the recording, for the advertising of your album, and they have their people in radio to play your music. Now, the advance that they give you, one of the first things you want to do is get some bling bling, so you can look like the other rappers who are very successful. The owner of the record company has a Jewish brother that's in the jewelry business. So he makes you a nice little bling bling, and you can buy a little car and ride in the neighborhood like a king. And then when it comes time to settle, how did I do? Well, I did pretty good, but they say I didn't bring in enough money on the album, so I owe them money. That's the same thing your great-grandmother did on the plantation. Yeah. Right? So now you got to go out on the road. They own the venues where you're playing. Oh man, it's such a game that is being played. Well, how do you fix it? Some things you have to destroy. Yeah, and then some might see, in order to escape being destroyed, I'll change. Snoop went away from our talk, and he made a song for the album called Let's Change the World. When you hear it, Snoop is really a genius. And he's done many things, but Snoop, like most, want to come up now and use their skill to make a change. I saw Snoop recently in the documentary with his son. I had tears in my eyes, man, because I loved Snoop as a dad. I saw the way he was with that son and how that son is becoming a giant. That's Snoop. That man, and all of them, they really got something within that they want to bring out, but there's pressure. So now either we take the business over, we become distributors. It ain't nothing to make a record today. You can make it in your house. But who will distribute your record? They own the distribution. So when I talked to Damon Dash, you know, my brother, when I told him about my album, he said, who owns the masters? I said, I do. He said, well, you don't need nobody. When you own your own master, then you are the master of your fate. Once you give it to somebody else and they start taking away money and giving you a check. When you the owner of it all, then find a way to just cut them out. Then you can do what's in your heart, but you gotta be free. And what you're telling me is, I'm not free enough to really express my soul. I gotta do what I can over here and slip what I can over there, because I gotta eat, and that's real. So my brothers in the hood, when we go in to talk with them, they say, look, Farrakhan, I mean, you know, this is what we gotta do, because we gotta survive. And I understand that. I thank you for allowing me this privilege, Brother Sway. And I thank your team. How long have I been here?
Hour 46 minutes.
Oh, that's it? Well, I appreciate it.
It's been a long day,
Yeah.
but I've enjoyed it.
Can you leave me one favor? And if you could, I really wanted, because you're so influential in this hip hop culture and this youthful culture. You got the leaders of hip hop who come to you for guidance. You know, and I think it has a lot of influence on the youth, and I think the change could come in the youth, you know, that we talk about, of awareness. In closing, what message would you leave to the producers, the artists, the DJs, you know, those that participate in this culture and the messaging and the information and the entertainment that we provide? Is there something you want to say to them on how to utilize this power, this position we have?
We are being used as instruments of the death and demoralization of our people. You said it earlier, our rap artists are more powerful than any preacher. One rap song can turn more people's minds than 100 sermons of some of the great preachers. That's the influence that our young people have, and it's not limited to America, it is all over the world. So here's what we have to decide. Do I want to be an agent of the wicked plans of the enemy to be a destructive force against my own people? Do I want to be the producer of raps that only engage in the most filthy and wicked display of vulgarity to our people? Do I want to do that? Do I want to promote on my radio show the most vile songs that pit one brother against another? Do I want to be an agent of that just because there's a few dollars? I think we ought to unite, and we ought to go to the record producers and argue for the sanity of our people and make them responsible for the deaths that come as a result of what they cause to do. So that we don't die alone, somebody has to be made to pay. And what are you advocating, Farrakhan? What Moses said, a life for a life, a tooth for a tooth. See, once you become an agent of our destruction, then if we united, let's put pressure on these record labels, because our people have more talent than they are showing, let them rise to the heights that they wish to rise to, and we should be the vanguard to that kind of approach to all record executives and charge them with the death of our people that they are promoting, and see how they respond to that. And you know, brother, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, all that a man hath will he give for his life. And when people know that their lives are in the balance by destroying our lives, then maybe we'll see some change.
It's Sway in the morning, only
on Shea 45.